What if the world is closer to another Middle East war than anyone realizes? Over the last 24 hours, unusual military signals, cancelled plans in Washington, and new warnings from Iran have sparked fears that a massive conflict could be approaching fast. And now, analysts believe the situation behind closed doors may be even more dangerous than what the public is being told. Tensions surrounding Iran escalated dramatically after reports claimed that US military and intelligence officials cancelled Memorial Day weekend plans to remain prepared for possible military action. The timing immediately triggered speculation across political and defense circles, especially after President Trump reportedly stayed in Washington instead of attending personal events and cancelled plans to travel to his New Jersey golf property. Online discussions intensified even further when White House Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino posted footage showing B-2 bombers in action. Many observers quickly pointed out that similar footage had reportedly been shared shortly before previous strikes connected to Iran, leading some analysts to believe the signals coming from Washington may be intentional. But Iran wasn't staying silent. Iran responded quickly to the growing speculation by issuing new warnings and restricting parts of its airspace through an official NOTAM announcement. Several airports were affected, with operations limited mainly to commercial flights during specific hours, fueling theories that Tehran may already be preparing defensive measures in case tensions escalate further. At the same time, commanders from Iran's Revolutionary Guard publicly warned that any future attack by the United States or Israel would be met with a far stronger response than before. Iranian officials claimed their armed forces are now fully prepared and warned that even a small miscalculation by their enemies could trigger serious consequences across the region. And that's where the situation becomes even more dangerous. One of the biggest fears surrounding the crisis is the possibility of instability in the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil shipping routes. Reports suggest Iran has discussed conditions tied to reopening or securing the strategic waterway, including demands involving frozen Iranian assets, reduced US naval pressure, and compensation connected to earlier military damage. The situation has alarmed global markets because a disruption in the strait could impact oil supplies worldwide within days. American officials also warned that any attempt by Iran to restrict access or impose tolls on international shipping could force Washington to respond aggressively. And behind the scenes, diplomacy may already be struggling. Reports suggest Iran may still be trying to negotiate a larger agreement with the United States, while simultaneously preparing for the possibility of renewed conflict. According to reports, Tehran has proposed a two-track framework involving both a ceasefire arrangement and negotiations connected to its nuclear program. Iran reportedly signaled it may agree not to develop nuclear weapons if its nuclear enrichment rights are officially recognized. But while diplomacy continues quietly in the background, Washington appears to be preparing alternative options if talks collapse. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned that the US has a Plan B if Iran refuses to cooperate over the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, US Central Command increased posts showing fighter jets, helicopters, and military operations aboard the USS Lincoln carrier strike group.